You ever get the feeling like something ain't right? Like there's a line that should have never been crossed, and you look up one day and realize someone already crossed it. That's what just happened in Los Angeles, and no one seems to want to say the quiet part out loud. This is the Michael Fanone Show, and today I'm talking about how the National Guard deployment in LA just quietly blew a 145-year-old federal law to pieces. Back in early June, Donald Trump ordered thousands of California National Guard troops, plus 700 active duty Marines, into Los Angeles. No request from Governor Newsom, no emergency declaration, just federal troops showing up. Their so-called mission? To protect federal property and assist immigration enforcement operations. But here's the kicker. They were activated under Title 10, not Title 32. What does that mean? They weren't answering to the state. They were answering to President Trump and the Pentagon. According to CBS News and The Guardian, Newsom was never even consulted. And that's a big deal because under normal circumstances, only governors can activate the Guard for in-state missions. Now let's talk about the law. The Posse Comitatus Act, passed in 1878, says you cannot use federal military forces to enforce domestic laws unless Congress explicitly authorizes it through something like the Insurrection Act. No insurrection was declared here, no congressional vote, just an executive order, and then boots on the ground. In fact, California sued. In Newsom v. Trump, the state argued that the deployment violated both the Constitution and Posse Comitatus. A district judge initially sided with Newsom, but the appeals court blocked that ruling, saying Trump likely acted within his powers under Title 10. So let's fast forward to this week. The Pentagon announced they were withdrawing half the National Guard troops from Los Angeles. Half. Roughly 2,000 soldiers packed up. But another 2,000 are still there, along with the 700 active duty Marines. And they're still federalized, still operating under Title 10, still answering to the Commander-in-Chief, not to any state or local authority. Let me break that down for you. The military came, they stayed, and they're still there, operating on American streets. Now listen up. Here's the part no one wants to admit. When you activate National Guard troops under Title 10 and send them into American cities, and those troops begin doing anything remotely resembling crowd control, or assisting in arrests, or intimidating civilians, you've crossed the line. That's exactly what the Posse Comitatus Act was designed to prevent. And it doesn't matter that they wore National Guard uniforms, because once they're federalized, they're no different than active duty troops under the law. There's no legal cover for any kind of domestic deployment unless you invoke the Insurrection Act, and Trump never did. So let's call it what it is. The President of the United States deployed the military inside our own borders against the wishes of the state government without legal justification, and no one stopped him. Some people are going to say that this was about keeping the peace or protecting buildings. But I've been a cop in a federal jurisdiction, and I've been deputized to work across state and federal lines with national law enforcement agencies like the DEA, the ATF, and the FBI. I know what it looks like when power gets abused. And when you deploy federal troops without accountability, when you strip away local control, when you sideline the governors, you're not protecting democracy, you're threatening it. And the worst part, half the troops are still there. I'm Michael Fanone, and if you think this isn't a big deal, you're not paying attention. See you next time.